Uh, Marcus, obviously a lot of familiarity. Recruited him at Miami and was able to coach him there for a year. Um, he can really run. He's got a great skill set, really, really good ball skills. I think he'll bring, I believe he started 3 or 4 games, so he's got playing experience. I think he'll bring that. Um, we're gonna still work him along as far as getting him in, making sure he's in shape, and I still honestly don't know about his immediate eligibility, so we're kind of waiting to see on that. But I think he'll just be able to bring a calmness to the group. You got Ennis and you have. KD that have played a lot of football, and I think he fits kind of in that wheelhouse, probably from a uh, skill set wise as well. So we're excited about him.
Do you hope to hear about that eligibility before you guys leave for Manhattan?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I really don't know. I haven't checked on it. I don't know where we're at with it, but yeah, of course, we'd like to. If he could play, we'd love for him to be able to play.
Like, what does Deuce Vaughn do so well in that offense that emphasize?
Yeah, what doesn't he do well? He's a dynamic player. I think what really separates him is his vision, his patience, and his balance. Gosh, man, when it looks like nothing's there, he makes something out of nothing all the time. He's good out in the pass game. I mean, he can do it all. He really can. And obviously, I'm not Mel Kiper and ranking the top running backs in the country, but it'd be hard pressed for me to find many better than him.
Last week you said you were just curious or wanted to see how your team would tackle on week one. What did you think of the way you guys looked?
I was pleased. We always aim for less than 15%. I think if you do that over the course of a year, that's pretty elite. And I think we were right at that mark. So overall, that was a big point of emphasis, like you just talked about, and really what we talked about leading up into the game, man, is there's going to be mistakes, but just run and hit. If you miss a tackle, your teammate's going to be there to help you out. So overall, I was pleased. I know this week will be, in my opinion, a much tougher challenge for us, but. I thought for week one, when that is your biggest concern, usually as a defensive coordinator, I thought they did a really good job.
Would you expect them to try to do more things with Adrian Martinez this week? It seemed like last week they kind of just didn't ask a whole ton from him.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll see more in the run game for sure out of him. Yeah, I think they were probably. I don't want to say holding back, but yeah, they were probably you know risk reward and probably were holding him back a little bit.
Coach, Coach, a lot of positives to be taken away from the game last week, but what's some things this week that you really honed in on that you think you need to work on before Manhattan?
Well, first thing, don't give up explosive plays. 3 explosive touchdowns. I think it was 176 yards and 21 points. We play a quality opponent, and very, very likely you're not going to win that game. So we've got to do a better job on the back end, and that starts with me. I had a long talk with the safeties coach after the game, and uh, you know, put him on the hot seat. So I'm the safeties coach. No, but we got to do a better job there. All kidding aside, we've got to do, and it's just technique things, things that we got to work hard on. But obviously there, and then this week they want to run the ball. I think they had 300 yards rushing. They've got an experienced offensive line. We've already talked about Deuce Vaughn, and Adrian Martinez has unbelievable speed. So we've got to stop the run first, but we can't give up the explosive pass.
Coach, Cooper Beebe was named was one of those six Wildcats names for the preseason Big 12 list. He doesn't get all the fanfare that Deuce and Felix and all the other guys get, but what does he do well at tackle, and what have you kind of told your defensive ends about the work they'll have cut out for them on Saturday?
Yeah, I think he's a preseason All American, so I think the work speaks for itself from that standpoint. But he's a powerful man. I think he plays with really good pad level. I think their entire offensive line is really well coached. You could tell they're in sync. But no, he's an outstanding player.
Like you guys said, obviously the 3 interceptions in the first half. I mean, how happy were you with the forcing turnovers, and is that something you can carry over in the next week?
Yeah, it's something we preach, something we harp on, and I know JC and Joseph get the credit for it, but it really started up front. When you talk about Isaiah being able to get his hand on the ball, and then Kristian Williams, those two guys deserve as much or more credit than the tip balls that the two safeties caught. So it's a total team effort. But yeah, it's something that I've said since day one, we're going to hunt tackles for loss, we're going to hunt negative plays, and we're going to hunt the football. So it was definitely a positive to see that in the first half.
Yeah, just to follow up, you mentioned Isaiah tipping that ball. It looked like you had Isaiah and Trajan, dropping back into coverage as defensive ends a few times. I mean, what is
Well, I think in today's game with as many RPOs and everything else, I think those guys have to be, have the ability to rush the passer and then also supplement them and drop in the coverage. And it's really going to depend on what the game plan is for that week. But it's a skill set that'll help them go on to the next level. And I understand those guys, they didn't come here to drop into coverage, but they're both selfless young men and really all the defensive ends, for them to be able to sacrifice for the good of the team and understand that the impact that they made helped win us the game, even though it wasn't necessarily rushing the passer. But, yeah, we're going to be multiple up front, and we're going to have the ability to drop those guys into coverage as well.
Coach, there's only a couple of us in here that are probably old enough to remember when Mizzou and K-State met up the old Big 8 days. But what have you told the guys about going over to Manhattan and playing against Kansas State in a stadium that's roughly about the same size, but it's going to be packed and loud and, an old rival, so to speak, when you guys get over there?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to play there a couple times. Their fan base does a nice job of filling the stadium, but we always present them with what the stadium will look like and what feel like. But at the end of the day, we harp on playing a nameless, faceless opponent, and we got to block out that noise. And it's about us. How well are we going to tackle? How physical are we going to be up front? How well are we going to coverage on the back end? So at the end of the day, the football field is still the same size. We got to block out all the 50,000 fans or however many are going to be in that stadium and worry about what we can do on the field.
Well, I guess you're trying to sort of to fix the explosive plays. How much does Jaylon Carlies, somebody with a lot of speed, create good reaction times? How does he figure into that?
Yeah, I think obviously one of them was a technique error from him. So it wasn't necessarily a speed issue, something that he's just got to clean up from a footwork standpoint and from an eye standpoint. Same with Joseph on the other play. So both of those guys got plenty of speed, not to give up the deep ball. It's just I got to do a better job with teaching them the technique that we want them to play with.
And in their first game in the new role, how pleased were you with Martez, Manuel, and Jaylon Carnell playing at the start?
They both played really, really well. I mean, I thought both of them had outstanding games. Again, both selfless players. I forgot the exact rep count, but they almost split time. But both of them, like I said, they add a little different flavor to the defense. But I thought both of them played outstanding in the role. Tackled really, really well. Both of those guys tackled outstanding. JC tackled outstanding as well. I thought both of those guys, or all three of those guys coming from depth, made some really good open field tackles.
Like some coaches like going up top on game day. What do you like coaching on the field?
There's a lot of different reasons. First and foremost, I like being able to look the players in the eyes when they're coming off the field, when making adjustments, but also when I'm giving the call, making sure that they get the call. Also, just having the ability to, in some ways, control the tempo of the game. So those are probably the two main reasons, but the biggest reason is the communication standpoint.
Coach, how does K-State, all those personnel sets that they run, how does that kind of affect, how you guys will set the edges and kind of contain the east and west running as well as trying to have gap discipline when they're trying to go north and south?
Yeah, they do a good job. They're multiple in their personnels. They're multiple in their formations. They're multiple in their formations within those personnel. So they present some challenges in that way. And that's what this week's about, making sure that, the one thing about them is they're going to show us something that we haven't seen, either from a formation standpoint or a play standpoint or the combination of two. I think, they're very game plan oriented when you really break them down. So we got to learn concepts is what I'm trying to get to. And at the end of the day, we have to understand what our rules are, apply those rules out on the field.
Like you talked about Martez and Jaylon having great first night in their new roles. KAD making his, I think, second career start at outside corner. What were your thoughts on his game and where's he at in his transition to the outside?
I thought he played well. I thought the biggest thing that KAD brings, and I didn't realize even until he said it, that was his second game ever starting at outside corner, because he has a calmness about him. He never panics. He's never flustered. He's never too high, never too low. But I was pleased with his first game. I know if you were to ask him, he's going to say he could play much better. And that's probably true, but I thought for his first game and not being able to go through spring, I thought he played well.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, Martez Manuel had the brace going into the game on Saturday or on Thursday.
It hasn't limited him. I know he's supposed to get out of that either this week or next week. It might be like a game time decision if he's out of it, so I don't want to say one way or another. But he's come to the tail end of that, for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Got Jaylon Carlies at the podium if you've got questions for Jaylon.
Jaylen, how big of a point of emphasis this offseason was your tackling, and how do you think you showed it on Thursday night?
I feel like that was a big part of my game moving forward, coming into this year, because I watched a lot of film, just seeing myself miss a lot of tackles, a lot of bad angles. I felt like that was a big part of my summer, just working on my angles and getting better in that.
What's your biggest point of emphasis this week against Kansas State?
Just pretty much kind of trying to eliminate all the big plays. Just trying to keep them level grounded, keep everything in front of us, and don't let anything get behind us.
How much do you think a pretty fast guy, how much do you think you'll be able to use that speed to be able to do that?
I try to use it a lot in any game that we play, just trying to help the defense any way that I can. If I have a lot of speed, I'll make sure I try to use it, eliminate a lot of plays that hopefully don't get to the back end a lot.
What's Deuce Vaughn do for their offense?
He's an electric player. He's a great player. But I feel like we have a good chance, with our schemes and different things, just to stop their offense in total.
What are some keys to tackling someone who's as shifty and hard to tackle as Vaughn is?
Just coming in at good angles, different things, because he can make you miss. He has great make you miss ability. Just coming in at great angles and preparing yourself.
How much does the production in the defensive front help you guys further back there?
I feel like that's a huge part because, those are big guys of the defense. So, them bringing that energy, stopping the run and filling up those gaps, that brings a lot of energy to the back end. So, we're able to gel well together and play the game that we want to.
The way you guys played the run so well the other night, do you think a lot of it was just the system you're in or just some added players, or what do you think was different?
It's wouldn't say anything is just really different. We kind of have the same kind of defense as last year. It's just just everybody just saw what we could improve on from last year. It's not more of a difference. Just everybody just saw what we could do better coming into this year, and we kind of improved on it.
Coach Baker mentioned a lot of the explosive plays from last week. What's something that the secondary's kind of been, keying in on this week to make sure that doesn't happen this time around?
Just reading our keys and not getting our eyes stuck. Because I let up one of the big plays. One of them was my fault. Just keeping our eyes where they're supposed to be and not letting them roam around the field too much.
Curious of what you've seen from Marcus Clark so far at practice.
Marcus is a good player. We grew up playing each other in Pop Warner. We're from the same area, so I already kind of knew what he could bring to the table. But he's a good player as well coming into this team. I feel like he can help us a lot.
Anything else for JC? Thank you, sir. Got Jernigan at the podium if you've got questions for Jayden.
Jayden, I guess you've actually played K-State before, so what do you remember from those matchups? I don't think you played the year you went to Manhattan.
No, sir.
What do you remember about playing that style of offense?
They were fast. Quarterback's able to move. Running back, he's a good athlete, able to hit the holes very fast. We just got to be disciplined. And if we're disciplined, then we can go out there with a win. But if we're not disciplined, then it's going to be a tough game.
What works so well Sept in the run on Thursday?
We were just playing physical. We were able to get our hands on those linemen. It was LA Tech. It was our first game. So we just had to be physical, and that's what we did last year. The record wasn't what we wanted to have it at for a rushing yard, so that was everything that we talked about. So that was the first thing we tried to stop. And I feel like 22 rushes on 8 yards is pretty good.
How's that changed this week with Deuce Vaughn in the backfield?
Ain't no change, really. Our mental's the same. It's just us being physical up the front and trying to win the trenches.
Have you seen like the transfers and I guess the experienced guys mixed together well on the defensive line?
Yeah, we've been mixing well, very well. I feel like it really helped in the spring and the fall when everybody really started getting here, and then we all started getting acquainted to each other. And then now it's the game. Everybody's gonna be together. We all one team, so that's just how it goes.
Jayden, we saw a lot of guys rotate up front last week against LA Tech. Kind of what is that like? You know, are you guys, you know, just more fresh at the end of the game, being able to go 2 to 3 deep, you know, on the defensive line?
Yeah, when you're able to have a rotation so deep, we're able to be fresh. You want to have your plays, so if you know you have 10 plays, then you know you're gonna go undeniable effort every play. So with that rotation, everybody's out fresh. O-line, normal O-lines, they don't rotate. So we're up fresh. You see a new guy every 3 series. It's a whole new style of game. We're all different on the D-line.
And both coaches today have talked about how they think kind of O-line is like the best thing about part of the offense. And said Deuce Vaughn is only as good as his offensive line. What are some things about that offensive line that you guys have been really thinking about this week?
Well, their offensive line is very veteran. There are a lot of old guys. They play very disciplined, well together. They move right. They all move right with the same step, same time. So that's just the stuff that we're gonna look at. It's all film. It's all still gonna be a game. We just have to out physical. That's the whole basis of the game. Whoever wins the trenches is gonna win the game.
How do you go about disrupting sort of that discipline beyond physicality, I suppose?
That's a good question. I don't know. To be honest, I feel like, as in a discipline standpoint, staying in our gaps, making sure Deuce can't just fake in one gap, go ahead and hit another gap like he's been doing to everybody else during the seasons. So what we're trying to do, everybody stay in their gap, stay in their alignment, execution, and effort, and that's it.
Didn't you mention how last year was struggling before you got here, but you kind of said it as if that's still motivation for you, even though you weren't here. How'd you kind of take that on? That's an interesting way to look at it.
Well, I just took it on as I'm here now. I'm a Mizzou Tiger, and that's just how it is. So whatever that happened last year, we watch the film and we see we're all building on to how we can make this defense the best defense that Mizzou has had. So whatever problems that we had last year, even the transfers take that and we put that on our shoulders and in the back of our minds. So we have some extra motivation to go out into that game.
You said you watched the film from last year. Can you compare what you saw in film from this week to what you saw in film like last year? What were some of the biggest differences between this team and that team?
I wasn't a part of that team, so I don't really know the differences. Really, I could just say I know this year we're doing a lot of good things and we're on the right track.
Anything else for Jayden? Thank you, sir. Sport management major. How do you do this?
Sorry, guys.
I was
In the
for Martez.
shower.
Is that one of the perks of being captain?
No. That's one of the perks of having friends that play too much. That's what that is.
Martez, what was working so well Thursday night, especially stopping the run there?
I feel like we just while we're doing our job. I don't think it's really one thing I can really say that was just like clicking. It was just us playing together.
Martez, how much more comfortable did you feel playing closer to the box and saw roll as opposed to playing inside?
I mean, I feel comfortable for sure, but I mean, I wouldn't say more comfortable. It's just I talk to Coach Baker about I just want to show my roles that I can play high too. You know what I'm saying? But I do like playing close to the box. You know, I like it a lot, but I do want to also be able to contribute on the back end. You know.
Martez, what are some like technical things that you really key in on when you're focusing on tackling someone as tough to tackle as Deuce Vaughn?
Shoot, man, you just gotta make sure you fall back on your training. You know, you're not going against a running back like that. You're not really gonna have no just awakened abilities that you never had. Just had the best game of your life. You know, you gotta. Me and Jelani was just outside right now. That's why I'm late. Actually, we was doing some extra tackling drills on a smaller dummy because you know he's a smaller back. Just stuff like that. Like make sure you prepare the right way so on game day you feel like you've been tackling him all week.
Jernigan was in here a minute ago. He was talking about how even the transfers are really motivated to improve this defense from stuff that happened last year before they were here.
Mhm.
What does that mean? It sounds like those guys are pretty bought in and motivated to, help
Yeah.
you guys who passed last year.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's just one shows how much of a character shows a lot on their character because they're willing to lean in on that and help us in that aspect. But also, you know, it also comes from us talking about all offseason how bad that sucked last year, and I feel like that was scary enough for them to realize that we wasn't going to be that way this year. So hopefully we can keep trending in that direction.
Are you expecting to see more things from Adrian Martinez this week than he put on tape last week?
Personally, I am. I can't speak for my coaches. With an opponent like South Carolina, South Dakota. You expect them to probably not show their whole hand, in a game like that. So I'm open for everything. That's why I'm just trying to do a good job with my film study and see what their OC likes to do.
Even watching back some of that Nebraska film, what does he bring to the offense that you need?
He got a strong arm, tall dude. I feel like his best quality is his legs. He can get out of there when stuff isn't the way he wants it to be. So I feel like that's going to be huge for our D-line to keep him in that pocket, and huge for our DBs to capitalize when he makes a mistake.
Just with the change in opposition and saying that you would like to drop, do you anticipate dropping back more this weekend?
No, not really. They like to run the ball. That's their identity. You know what I mean? They gonna try to kind of outman you. So I feel like we gotta show up to the fight for that.
Last week, you guys did a great time. The team as a whole did a great job containing the edges and making sure that the east and west runs didn't do too much damage.
Mhm.
With this being K-State, a bigger level competition, how will you guys kind of still try to do that this week?
Yeah, I've been talking to the D-line about just what we talked about last year, not in my gap mentality. And I feel like we got to be a lot more patient because Deuce is such a good back. He like to hop around back there until the hole develops. So we can't have D-linemen jumping in that gap and then jumping out of it, and then he going to hit the gap they was just in. You know what I mean? That puts everybody in the bind. So I've just been trying to spread the message, just staying in your gap. And when the play is designed for you to make it, you're going to make it. But we got to play for each other. We can't have somebody that's trying to run up their stats and trying to do everything wrong, screwing the person behind them, So we just got to play together.
Martez, do you kind of, it just came one, but have you kind of seen a difference in like how much the team flashed the football game, getting tackles from last year, and
Yeah.
what you kind of say about the defense?
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge commitment to Coach Baker. He's done a good job with our identity death row defense. We just feel like we got to be those guys for our team this year, and we've kind of owned that responsibility. And I feel like he's done a great job with just our mentality and our physical mindset.
Martez, just looking back to the game on Thursday, one of your high school teammates, Nate Pete,
Mhm.
it's his first time back from Mizzou. Is that
Yeah.
cool to see?
Yeah, it was awesome to see. Hopefully, he continue to do that. But it was really cool. I can't lie. It's just something I've always dreamed about, something that we talked about, since we were in middle school. So, pretty special moment for me.
Coach Baker was talking about getting the club removed. Is that something that's going to happen before the KSU game? Is that something next week?
Yeah, I broke it today. So, yeah, I was out there tackling, and it kind of shattered. So, we're going to see. Luckily, I play at a level where they really good at getting stuff when I need it, like ASAP. So, hopefully, I ain't got to put it on, but I wouldn't be surprised if on Saturday I had it on.
Anything else for Martez? Thank you, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
You broke your club. Podium, if you've got questions for Kristian.
Kristian, at the game on the TV broadcast, we could see you celebrating after the pick six that you took out of the quarterback's hand. What was that feeling like in your first home game in Mizzou causing that?
Most definitely, it's a blessing for sure. But it all falls back on the preparation of things. Like when we always be at practice, Coach Davis always emphasized like putting your hands up, same side hand as a quarterback. And luckily, we got a rush, so just bringing pressure on the quarterback and get inside the paint.
Looked like you might have been turned around on the play. How did you immediately realize that it didn't work as well?
Yeah, most definitely that. But I tried to turn around and find for a block, just find somebody at least. But yeah.
You guys were able to get good pressure and contain the edges and stuff. But how is that different when you're facing a Kansas State team that's more talented than a lot of Tech Ops?
Most definitely. It's more preparation that goes back into it. Just having a head start and getting to know what the opponent's tendencies and stuff like that. So really just emphasizing film work, going out there and practicing the plays, and just not going through emotion. We're going through the motion and being intentional with everything that we do. So just going out there and just on Saturday, it's just all fun.
Kristian, Martez emphasized, how he said the defensive line needs to be a my guy mentality this week. Kind of take us through what that really means for you guys.
Basically just controlling the point, being where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there, and just trusting that everybody else will be in the same exact spot that they're supposed to be in too, because the defense all works out when everybody gets inside their gap and trust their responsibilities and fall back on the preparation.
Kristian, Jayden talked about how you guys meshed well, the transfers and the veteran guys on the defensive line. But how quickly do you think, in your eyes, did you guys plan everything out and understand Blake Baker's defense when you got here? How quickly?
I mean, the new transfers, when we got here, we were experienced as to begin with, so it's we had a couple games under our belt. So just kind of getting into the transition of the new defense, it wasn't too much of a difficult task to learn, but it was an interesting one because a lot of stuff, when you come from somewhere else, a lot of techniques might be different and whatnot. So it was pretty fun to just get thrown into the rest of the defense too, to get to know everybody, and then just go out there and ball, to be honest.
What have you learned kind of about the Kansas State's O-line? Kobe probably the best one. Their whole line in general is pretty good. So what are some things you feel like you got to work on and the defensive line needs to work on versus Kansas State?
Most definitely stopping the run, making it one-dimensional, and like we said, just falling back on our preparation instead of just rising up to the occasion. That's the biggest thing.
Anything else for Kristian? Thank you, sir.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.